Hello, guys. So, today we are going to learn a new topic, that is Curies activity test. Reference textbook as Essentials of Public Health Industry, Subban Peter, 6th edition. It is the same. So, this topic you might have already covered in PEDO, and it might have already been taken in PEDO, or I think in Endo. So, there I think it is like quite a bit detailed, but in your community, in Pulse, there are only 15 questions, okay? So, it is like very concise and very specific, okay? So let's begin. Before that, we'll just see the definitions, okay? So what is a caries activity and what is caries susceptibility? So what is caries activity? It refers to the increment of active lesions, that is either new or recurrent, but it should be active lesions over a stated period of time, okay? So this caries activity, it measures the speed of progression of a caries lesion. Clear? So that is what caries activity means. And what is caries susceptibility? So susceptibility is like you are more prone for that. That is what it means. If you are susceptible to something, you are more prone for that, okay? So susceptibility is refers to the inherent tendency of the host and the target tissue to be afflicted by the caries process, or to be affected by the caries process. So that is what caries susceptibility means, okay? That is the inherent tendency of the host, that is means the humans, to be affected with the caries process. So clear? Okay, then we are moving on to caries activity test. Okay, as defined, they are defined as a test that is used to estimate the actual state of a disease activity, either progression or regression. Okay, so we have a set of tests to measure the state of a disease, that is either it is progression or regression. And what is the purpose of caries activity test? That is, we can help of this caries activity test. We can identify high risk groups, determine the need for a personalized preventive measures, and it will help in monitoring the effectiveness of oral health education, and it helps in motivating the individual. Okay, clear? So let's move on to the classification. So we have microbial test, we have mutant streptococcus screening test, and we have evaluating the salivary defense. Okay, test for evaluating salivary defense. Okay, so there is a three broad categories. So let's see what are microbial tests. What are the tests coming under microbial test? Okay, we have albans, we have swab, we have mutants group of streptococcus screening test, we have lactobacillus count test, and we have Snyder test. Okay, so now under this mutant group of streptococcus screening test, we have three methods. We have toothpick, we have S mutants dip slide method, and we have tongue blade method. Okay. So next is salivary, evaluating the salivary defense. Okay. For that we have salivary reductase test, we have aura test, we have dento buff test, and we have forced calcium dissolution test. Okay. So these are the caries activity test that we are going to learn. So let's move on to lactobacillus colony count test. Okay, the important things you have to remember is which is the medium used, and what is the uh, interpretation, and what is the color change, or what is the peculiar feature of this test, and who is the author. That is the main key things you have to note. Okay, I have highlighted in highlighted using red. Okay, so that portion you just concentrate on. Okay, so this lactobacillus colony count test was first introduced by Hadley in 1933. Okay, Hadley. Okay, so what is the basis of this? In a tomato, peptone agar is a selective medium favoring the growth of acidiuric lactobacilli. Very important. This can be asked as a question. Which is the selective medium that is used for the growth of lactobacillus? It is tomato, peptone agar. Okay, and what is the principle? The number of acidogenic and acidiuric bacteria in the patient's saliva are estimated by counting the number of colonies appearing on this tomato, peptone agar after inoculating with a sample of saliva. Here we are just counting the number of colonies that has been formed after inoculating this saliva on peptone agar medium. Simple test. Okay, and this box is very important. So the results is very important. So this is asked as an MCQ. Okay, so that is if it the colonies is like, if it is between 0 to 1000, caries activity is little or none. If it is 1000 to 5000, it is slight. 5000 to 10,000, it is moderate. And if it is about 10,000 colonies are there, the caries activity is marked. So that is about lactobacillus colony count test. Next, we are moving on to colorimetric Snyder test. Okay, Snyder's colorimetric test in the year 1951 by Snyder. Okay, so what does it measure? As the name suggests, the principle is like it measures the ability of the salivary microorganisms to form organic acids. So what does it measure? It measures the ability of the microorganisms to form organic acids from a carbohydrate medium. Okay, so the Snyder test agar medium is green in color and it has got a pH of 4.8. So when the lactobacillus organisms grows, the pH decreases and the color changes to yellow. So that is what the color change. It is known as the colorimetric Snyder test. So when the salivary microorganisms forms organic acids, it became more acidic and the color changes. That is the principle. Okay. So the medium contains the indicator dye, that is bromocresol green. So which is indicator dye used in colorimetric Snyder test, that is bromocresol green. And the dye changes its color from green to yellow in a range of pH of 5.4 to 3.8. Very important. It is initially it will be green, it changes to yellow, that is pH reduces from 5.4 to 3.8. Okay, next see the results. Okay, we are seeing the results after 24 hours, then 48 hours, and after 72 hours. Okay, so under 4 categories we are looking for the color, Curie's activity. Then so let's see what are the changes. Okay, so if it is yellow after 24 hours, and if what is the what is the Curie's activity if it is yellow after 24 hours, Curie's activity is marked. Okay, if it is yellow after 48 hours, still yellow, it is definite. And after 72 hours, if it is yellow, the Curie's activity is limited. Okay, and if the color is green after 24 hours, we have to incubate it, we have to continue to incubate it. Okay, and if it is again green after 48 hours, again we have to continue to incubate. If it is green, again green after 72 hours, it means Curie is inactive because it doesn't have any color change, it is still remains green even after 72 hours. So that means that sample is Curie is inactive. That is what it means. Okay, so immediate color change, that is marked within 2 hours. If the color change is yellow, it means definite, and if it is delayed, that is if it is after 72 hours the color change is yellow, that means limited Curie's activity. Okay, so that is what it indicates, that a colorimetric Snyder test, that is with respect to color, what is the Curie's activity. Clear? Next, we are moving on to Albin test. Okay, so that is a simplified substitute for Snyder test. Okay, so this is an important MCQ, which is a simplified substitute for Snyder test, that is Albin test. Okay, and what is the principle? It measures the ability of the microorganisms to form acids from a medium. Okay, and Albin's method uses less agar in the media. Same principle. Okay, but it uses less agar. Okay, advantage is that it is very simple, cost effective, and can act as a motivational tool for a patient. But here the color change is from blue to yellow. That is the only difference. Okay, it is a substitute and the color change is from blue to yellow. Okay, and what is the result? Let's see. If there is no color change, we can give a score of 3/4. Okay, and if it is just beginning, we can indicate it with a positive sign. If it is like 1/2 color change, 2 positive, 3/4 color change, then we can give 3 positive, and total color change to yellow, that means a highly Curie is active, that is 4 positive. So that is the results about Albin's test. So it is a simplified substitute for Snyder. Okay, next is swab test. So swab test was introduced by Granger et al in 1965. Okay, so as the name suggests, we are just collecting the swab. Okay, so what is the principle? It measures the ability of the salivary microorganisms to form organic acids from a carbohydrate medium. Same principle. Okay, and the swab is collected from the buccal surface of the teeth with a cotton applicator, and it is incubated for 48 hours. Okay, and the advantages, it is very important this point. The advantage of swab test is that it can predict the Curie's increments in children with a low or no previous Curie's experience. So this is very important. Which test is used to predict the Curie's increments in children with no previous caries experience. So that is swab test, okay, and we do not require a collection of saliva. We are just collecting the swab. So it is very much valuable in checking the caries activity in young children. And since we are measuring the ability to form organic acids, the results is like we are analyzing the pH. If pH is less than 4.1, marked caries activity because it is highly acidic. Okay, then if it is 4.2 to 4.4 active, 4.5 to 4.6 it is slightly active, and above 4.6 it is caries inactive. If the pH remains above 4.6, it is caries inactive. Clear? So next we are moving on to salivary reductase test. Okay, so salivary reductase test, as the name suggests, it measures the activity of the reductase enzyme present in the salivary bacteria. Okay, so what is the main principle? It measures the rate at which an indicator molecule, that is diazoresorcinol, changes from blue to red to colorless. So that is what it records. Okay, so mainly it measures the activity of the reductase enzyme in the salivary bacteria. To check for the activity of this reductase enzyme, we have an indicator molecule, that is diazoresorcinol, and we are measuring the changes from, that is changes in the color, that is a change from blue to red to colorless. Okay, so let's see the results. If the color change is blue immediately after 15 minutes, we can give a score of 1, that is non-conducive. If it is orchid after 15 minutes, it is slightly conducive, score 2. If it is red after 15 minutes, that is 3, moderately conducive. If it is immediately red, we can give a 4, highly conducive. If it is white after immediately if it is white, it is 5, and it is extremely conducive. Clear? So these are the results. Okay, so it measures the activity of the reductase enzyme present in the salivary bacteria. Clear? Next we have Dento-Buff test or salivary buffer capacity test. Okay, so principally the test measures the number of millimeters of acid required to lower the pH of a saliva from a pH of 7 to 6. So this is very important. Which test is used to measure the number of millimeters of acid required to lower the pH? So that is Dento-Buff or salivary buffer capacity test. Okay, so evaluation, it is like there is an inverse relationship between the buffering capacity of saliva and caries activity. So if the buffering capacity is more, caries activity will be less. Okay, so saliva of the individuals whose mouth contains a considerable amount of caries lesions have a low acid buffering capacity than those who are caries free. Okay, so it is very simple to carry out and does not does not correlate adequately with caries activity. That is the important disadvantage of this test, that is Dento-Buff test or salivary buffer capacity test. Okay, so scoring is like degree 1, degree 2, degree 3. Okay, if the color is yellow, that is pH is less than 4. If it is green, pH is between 4.5 to 5.5, and if it is deep blue, pH is more than 6. Okay, so higher the grade, stronger is the salivary buffering capacity and lesser is the caries activity. Okay, so if it is more acidic, it means buffer capacity, that is I'm telling about the grade. Okay, if the degree is 1, okay, that is degree is lesser, the buffer capacity is weak, that means it has got high caries activity. So if the higher the grade, stronger the salivary buffering capacity, like ulta, same thing I have mentioned is in 2 ways. Okay, next we have Fosdick calcium dissolution test. Okay, so this test measures the milligrams of powdered enamel which is dissolved in 4 hours by the acid formed when the patient's saliva is mixed with glucose and this powdered enamel. So as shown in the test tube, one test tube contains glucose and other one powdered enamel, and it is mixed with patient saliva. Okay, so if the dissolution is very faster, that is enamel is getting dissolved very faster when it is mixed with saliva and glucose, that means the saliva has got higher caries activity because it has got higher bacterial count, and the caries activity will be more. So the this thing enamel gets dissolved at a very faster rate. So that is Fosdick calcium dissolution test measures. Okay, that is when patient saliva is mixed with glucose and the powdered enamel. So if the dissolution rate is slow, then it is caries less caries active. Clear? So next we have Streptococcus mutant screening test. So this method is plaque or toothpick method and tongue blink method. Two methods we are studying. Three methods. Toothpick method, That is plaque method, tongue blade method, and we have dip slide method. Okay, so this is basically for screening S mutants. Okay, so in a toothpick method, using a toothpick, we are collecting a sample. Okay, plaque sample, and this plaque sample streaked on a selective culture media. The culture media is shown, that is Christopherson and Bretal culture media, and then after that we are checking for the presence of S mutant colonies. Okay, that is plaque or toothpick method. Next we have tongue blade method. So the same blade is rotated in patient's mouth for about 10 times. Okay, it estimates the number of S mutants mixed in paraffin stimulated saliva when cultured in a MSB agar. This sample we are taking. Okay, so it measures the S mutants mixed in a, we are stimulating the saliva. Okay, so it is like number of S mutants mixed in a paraffin stimulated saliva. Okay, and then we are culturing it on Mitis salivarius bacitracin agar, that is MSB agar. Okay, that is tongue blade method. Okay, next we have the evaluation is like we are counting the number of colonies. If there are more than 100 colony forming units are formed by this method, that is counts of more than 100 colony forming units by this method, it is proportional to greater than 10 colony forming units of S mutants per ml of saliva by conventional methods. Okay, so that is what, how it is we are evaluating. We are just counting the number of colonies. Okay, and advantages, it is very simple and practical for field studies and requires no transportation media or dilution steps. Okay, so it is very easy to do. Then next we have a dip slide method. It is device for S mutants in saliva. Equipment is like paraffin wax and plastic slide coated with Mitis salivarius agar and a buffered diluent. Okay, so it is also we have, it is called as dip slide method because this apparatus or this equipment consisted of 1-2 agars attached to a flexible plastic blade. Okay, so we are literally dipping it into the mouth, and so that is why dip slide method. It consists of the two sides of agar is, that is kind of, it looks like kind of a slides. Okay, and we are just dipping it. Okay, so that is why dipping into the mouth I meant, and we'll get a saliva. Okay, and this saliva and this agar slides will presence of this agar slides will help in full contact of this agar onto the desired area. I mean, evaluation is like we are just counting the colony forming units. Okay, CFUs. Okay, the results is like if it is score 1 low colonies, they're discrete. CFU is less than 200. If it is more than 200, it is medium. Colonies are tiny and uncontrollable, it is like high Caries activity, that is score 3. So that is evaluation of dip slide method. So dip slide method and tongue blade method usually measures the count the colony CFUs. They are measuring the CFUs, and that is the presence of this bacteria in saliva, whereas in plaque method it is plaque samples we are selecting. Okay, but here it is the number of S mutants in saliva in tongue blade and in dip slide method. So the simplest study, or the simplest and the most suitable for practical field studies, which method it is most suitable, it is the tongue blade method. Okay, next we have aura test. Okay, aura test discovered by Rosenberg et al in 1989. Okay, so aura test, as the name suggests, is based on the rate of oxygen depletion by microorganisms in expectorated milk. Okay, based on the rate of oxygen depletion by microorganisms in expectorated milk. Okay, very important. So in normal conditions, bacterial enzymes aerobic dehydrogenase transfers electrons and protons to oxygen. Okay, so once oxygen gets utilized by the aerobic organisms, there will be formation of methylene blue. So it acts as an electron acceptor and it gets reduced to leucomethylene blue. So this reflects the metabolic activity of aerobic organisms. So that is what the principle behind aura test. So this is based on the oxygen depletion by the microorganisms in the expectorated milk. Okay, and normal conditions, this dehydrogenase enzymes transfers electrons and protons. Okay, in normal conditions. Okay, so once this get utilized by aerobic organisms, this methylene blue gets reduced to leucomethylene blue. So that reduction or that process will indicates the activity of the aerobic microorganisms. So let's see the evaluation of this aura test. So as like most of the colorimetric Curies activity test, it is also indicates like if high infection is higher, lesser will be the time taken for color change. That means within a fraction of a second or within a very few minutes, if the color change happens, when this reduction occurs, it indicates high microbial load or the rate of infection was very high. So if it is taking more time, that means bacterial activity is less. That means less infection or less Curies active. Okay, so that is what this aura test suggests. Advantage, it is like less time consuming. We have to just rinse the mouth with the milk and we have to expectorate. Then this apparatus or this color changing this apparatus you can see in the picture, that is like readily available, so we can just easily see the color change. Non-toxic, it is economic. Disadvantages, it is like lack of speciality. So this is about aura test. Okay, so we have finished almost all the important Curies activity test. Okay, so just try solving out the questions, just 15 questions. Okay, thank you.